Today, we're talking about how AI is turning boring, unsexy businesses into gold mines right now. Most people think the only way to make millions is by working at a flashy tech startup, but in reality, these startups have over a 90% failure rate. And people don't even think about looking into boring industries like accounting or plumbing. But here's the thing. These boring businesses aren't boring anymore. With AI integration, you can transform these businesses into tech-like operations while competing against local dinosaurs still using fax machines. And as Kevin O'Leary famously says, "Show me a boring business and I'll show you the money." Now, after analyzing dozens of these AI-enhanced boring businesses, it's safe to say this is one of the most exciting trends I've ever seen. In this video, I'll walk you through why AI makes these boring businesses so sexy, share a detailed case study, and reveal an opportunity identification framework. And at the end, I will give you actionable business ideas and a playbook to identify the perfect AI opportunity for your specific situation. I guarantee at the end of this, you will feel inspired to take action. And by the way, I'm Mac and Cheesy. I previously scaled my boring agency business to 7 figures with the help of AI. And if you want to learn more about how I got here, you can check out the description. All right, let's dive in. The first point. Why AI is making boring businesses so sexy. A boring business is essentially any unglamorous traditional service company that solves practical problems, and we all know what these are. We're talking moving companies, landscaping, plumbing, self-storage, junk removal, the kind of stuff that keeps making people rich, but nobody's interested in it because they're trying to build the next Facebook. And trust me, I get both sides. As a COO of a tech startup that recently raised $18 million, I get the tech startup energy. And as a former agency owner that was doing boring tasks, I saw firsthand how much money can be made if you focus on the right things. But the reality is, with those glamorous tech startups, there's a failure rate of around 93%. And while these boring businesses are hitting about an 80% plus odds of profitability. So the odds are in your favor that you will make money if you create a boring business. But here's where it gets interesting. AI changes everything about these businesses, and you don't need money or any past experience to take advantage of this. Pre-AI, these businesses were operated with traditional service margins. We're talking about 30%. And now using AI, you can optimize operations, automate processes, and push these margins closer to 70%. You're basically turning a traditional service business into a tech business without the tech startup risks. And the most crucial part about all this is you're competing against local incumbents who are still using fax machines. Imagine going head-to-head with a self-storage owner who's running everything on paper while you're using AI to optimize pricing, automate customer service, and predict maintenance needs. It's just not really fair. And to go even deeper, this is something that no one else will really mention. As you work on these businesses, you're building this incredible data moat specific to your industry, specific to your hyper-local environment. Every customer interaction, every operational decision that you make, it all feeds back into your AI system, making you more efficient and harder to compete with over time. I'm going to restate that because this is where it really gets juicy. As you learn and automate a specific industry, your moat, or the reason why people can't really compete against you, is the data about local rules, vendors, and customer service. And this is creating this perfect storm where traditional businesses with proven demand can start using AI to improve margins and compete against other companies that are stuck in the Stone Age. So this is all good in theory, but is this actually happening? Well, the answer is yes, and I'm going to walk you through some examples. So this is a case study shared to me by someone in my network, shout out Suds, and he recently bought a roofing business. Within just a year, he was able to completely transform this business, and here's how he did it. He purchased 2 roofing businesses and he consolidated the companies, got rid of excess inventory and vehicles. He then streamlined his workforce and sales process, all using AI, and started signing bigger deals with commercial real estate companies. Let's just imagine how this works. So you have 2 roofing companies and you have the same people working sales as actually fixing the roofs. And so they can't take sales calls all day when they're fixing the roof. And instead of hiring a salesperson, someone with AI comes in, automates these sales calls, and can close more business and focus on implementation. And if this feels unrealistic, later in this video, I'll walk through exactly how you can use AI to run sales calls for a business. And by doing all these, he was able to take a business that was losing $100K a year and now making $700K a year. You can follow his Twitter thread where he talks about a lot of this, and I linked that in the description. Now, this isn't just a single case study. I'm seeing it all the time, and it's impacting what these businesses go for. So a friend of mine was looking to purchase an HVAC company, and traditionally these sell for around 3x revenue. But now in today's world, these are selling for 6x revenue. And people aren't just overpaying. In their eyes, by using AI, you're actually able to unlock these businesses and they're worth almost double the value. And a personal story, a couple weeks ago, one of my investment properties, the HVAC broke, and I had to work with a local business where scheduling was so painful, I had to beg them to pay the invoice. And when I then had to pay it, I had to call them with my credit card information. This is what I mean about competing against incumbents who aren't optimized. This HVAC guy is probably great at fixing air conditions, but his business operations are just Fred Flintstone vibes, stuck in the Stone Age. Now, before we get into what are some businesses that are ripe for this today, along with actionable advice, it's first critical to understand what to look for and have a framework for how you can capitalize. And again, don't worry, you can do this with $0 and no experience. Here are some things to look for when identifying the type of business that are right for automation. You want to look for businesses that do the following. First, they have manual pen and paper workflows that exist. This can be document review, data extraction and entry, simple knowledge retrieval, or text-based communications, etc. Then you want to look for companies where employees are focused on low-risk task execution, let's say mostly following processes, versus a business with high-touch advisory and relationship management. This is what I call the judgment economy. If you have a high value relationship, you do not necessarily want to outsource that to AI. And you want a business that has low margin, where headcount expenses represents a significant portion of the revenue. Simply put, AI replaces people, so the more money that's spent on people, the better business it is to integrate with. And so those are 3 of the steps that are more obvious, but here are some more in-depth things to look for. Does the market have a labor shortage? So the same shortages that made scaling traditional service companies challenging are now an opportunity or tailwind for AI transformation, because this creates an incentive to automate, plus there is likely unmet demand that can be captured if you figure out scale. And the other less obvious one is, does the business have a weaker market position? Let's say it's the 4th or 5th player versus the market leader. That means there's likely more room for improvement and easier to get started and work with. So now you know the type of business you want to work with, right? Low margin, high expenses due to headcount, and in an industry that was traditionally had labor shortages. And we'll get into exact business ideas, but first, let's say you know the industry you want to work in. How can you take action today? Okay, well, first, there are 2 ways to capitalize on this. You can integrate or acquire. Integration is the process of working with existing businesses and helping them improve their operations. This has a low barrier of entry, no startup costs, and lower upside. Acquiring is where you swing for the fences. This is the process of buying an existing business, taking over operations, and making it that much more profitable because of your abilities. High barrier of entry, higher startup costs, and a much higher upside. And I'm mostly going to cover the integration step because I believe that has to be step 1. And once you figure that out, you can take a bigger swing and look to acquiring companies. And for example, the roofing example I touched on, Suds acquired the roofing business, which is why he was able to make close to 7 figures in 1 year. And you can pause this video, look on the side here for the exact terms on how he acquired it and what it cost. So you can look at that. But first, we start small and we go the integration route. So how can you integrate? First, you have to find opportunities, then you have to identify pain points, then you have to find simple solutions, and then 4th, build out from there. So step 1, finding opportunities. For this, use the framework I mentioned previously to identify businesses that are ripe for integration. Then the easiest step is think about your network. Is there anyone close who you think could leverage AI? For example, my dad has an accounting firm and I'm starting to work with him. Now, if there's no one in your immediate network, it's time to go to AI. Open up Perplexity, Claude, ChatGPT, or if you know the industry, find me 10 local service businesses in industry that are located in your city. This will give you a list of businesses that are specifically in your niche locally. Then step 2, what pain points do they have? Now, this is critical and why I believe you should start with integration instead of acquiring. In order for you to optimize a business, you need to get the business. You can't be fixing problems that these businesses don't have. So if you integrate with someone, you're effectively working with an industry expert, you make sure that you're looking in the right spots. And a great way to do this is ask them. Hop on a phone call and have a conversation. Ask them, what's the thing that's constantly falling through the cracks? What's the task that nobody has time for but still matters? What are your biggest problems and what do you hate doing most? If you can fix something they hate, they will love you. And if you'd rather not hop on a call and speak with someone, you can just ask ChatGPT these same questions and just learn more about the industry. Step 3, finding simple solutions. Ultimately, what AI allows you to do is supplement and enhance existing job functions. So you have to think, what are the low-hanging fruit jobs out there today that can be enhanced? And here are 3 things that make sense for most businesses. The first, customer support. The second, sales and marketing. The third, back office, general and administrative tasks. So when working with my dad's accounting firm, he literally struggles setting up video meetings. If he struggles doing that, he's not going to be able to do some crazy AI complex workflow right off the start. So you're probably not going to be able to get much help from the existing owner. So think about simple things that you can do end to end without their permission so that you can complete the optimization. And step 4, once you build some momentum, build out from there. As you learn more about the business, you can get more and more complex. And this brings me to one of my Mackin mantras: the simplest solution is almost always the best solution. So we know how to integrate, but where should we look and how can we provide value? Here are 6 businesses that likely exist in your neighborhood that are ripe for integration. First, accounting and bookkeeping. There's a ton of manual entry that has to be checked anyway. Leverage AI to do the majority of the lift and then have a head accountant do the final check. Again, this is something I'm helping my family do with their accounting practice. Number 2, HVAC installation and repair. These have higher labor costs, a lot of paperwork. An AI integration idea: a robust, localized customer management that sends emails to residents based on seasonal issues. Number 3, property management. Automate customer service requests and inquiries for frequently asked questions. Create AI service dispatching based on typical requests and escalate when needed. This will allow for property managers to have a bigger coverage so that they don't have to hire more people as they get more buildings that they manage. Number 4, hair salons. AI analyzes patterns and flags which days are overbooked and when staffing is underutilized. Now the owners can schedule smarter. For example, maybe usual clients offer a 10% discount to come off peak hours. Less chaos, happier clients, more people you're able to service. Number 5, landscaping and lawn care. Leverage AI to do personalized outbound to people using Google Maps. For people with nice lawns, you can offer to do their lawn for cheaper because if it's nice, maybe they're already paying for someone. For the people that don't have nice lawns, offer to do it for them. Number 6, roofing and housing painting services. This is similar to the landscaping one I just mentioned. For these, you could even work with an existing business and just take on their sales. This way, you don't even have to worry about the business itself. You're just helping with the sales and marketing. Now, I can go for hours on this with ideas, but before I walk through the 2 integration strategies, I have a newsletter that I talk all about the AI economy, where I cover topics like this. So go check out the link in the description. You're gonna love that. Every business needs to do sales. Otherwise, it's just not a business. So here are 2 strategies that weren't necessarily possible 6 months ago, but now are due to AI, and they're crazy valuable. The first is leverage AI for personalized outbound. Let's walk through this for one of the businesses I mentioned earlier, a house painting business. And I do want to shout out Chris Corner for this inspiration. It's really juicy, so I'm talking about it on Twitter. So what you could do is show an owner's house with a new coat of paint in your outbound, which brings personalized outbound to a whole other level. And this is for this specific business. Use this as inspiration for other industries. So how you can do this: first, you'll use Zillow's API to scrape all homes that have been listed for 12 plus months. Then you use OpenAI's API to display them with a fresh coat of paint. Then you send this new picture to the homeowner or agent with the price. This is streamlining the whole sales process and can be a major game changer. So again, you could just do this part and then sell the leads to an existing business, or work with the business and help them integrate this. Another area is automating sales calls. So let me walk you through a live demo on how you can do this. It takes like 2 minutes. So this is a tool called Vappy. Just go log on. I have a link in the description and you can create these AI assistants. So I have Riley here, but let's say I want to create an assistant. Let's say it's a customer support specialist. Alex is his name. I create the assistant. And so now there's a lot of different things you configure, and it's pretty clear, right? You have the AI model you're using. You have the first message that's said. You have the prompt. This is where you're learning. You have specific files. And I'm not going to go in depth here, but I just want to show what is possible. So I literally just created this, and then I'm going to hit talk to assistant.
Hi there, this is Alex from Tech Solutions Customer Support. How can I help you today?
Hey, Alex, I want to learn about your services.
Absolutely, I'd be happy to walk you through that. So, Tech Solutions offers a few main services designed to help with productivity, security, and business management. Our flagship products are 1. Taskmaster Pro for organizing tasks and boosting productivity. 2. Secure Shield, which helps protect your devices and...
Wait. Are you AI?
That's a great question. Yes, I am an AI voice assistant designed to help with Tech Solutions customer support. I'm here to answer your questions, guide you through our services, and make sure you get the help you need just like a regular support agent would. Does that sound okay?
That sounds okay, but I want to improve this. So this is an interesting thing. I'm going to end the call there. There's a lot to get to. You can add your specific information. You can add details on your service, etc. Not going to go through that. But one thing I will go through is how you want to handle the "are you an AI" rebuttal. So let me just show you what this looks like. So I've used this before, but for people saying they want to speak with a human, acknowledge we understand their concern, mention we have such a strong demand for our service due to the value we provide, yada, yada, yada. Give them our contact email where we will send them a scheduling link to set up a call with our founder. So the idea here is like, person figures out they're talking to an AI, they're annoyed about it. What can we do here? And I think this is people's biggest hesitation with integrating AI. It's like, what if I lose business? So we want to error handle that. So let's publish this and let's talk to the assistant.
Hi there, this is Alex from Tech Solutions Customer Support. How can I help you today?
Hey, Alex, are you an AI? I want to talk to a person.
I understand your concern. And yes, I'm an AI specifically designed to help customers like you with quick and efficient support. Actually, we've seen such high demand for our services that we use AI like me to streamline the process and assist more people. If you prefer speaking with someone, I can absolutely help with that. Please email us at support@techsolutions.com and we'll send you a scheduling link to set up a call with our founder. Let me know if you'd like me to say anything else.
And that's that. Pretty straightforward. So those are two use cases. You have the Zillow scraper as well as the automated sales calls. And just like that, boring businesses are officially now sexy. Frankly, there's never been a better opportunity than right now to build. And this is one of the most exciting trends I've seen. And we've covered a lot, right? From identification frameworks to exact implementation strategies. So if you made it this far, you're clearly ready to take action. Let's keep this momentum going. Check out this video where I walk through how to steal Alex Hormozi's $100 million marketing strategy, which you can then use to integrate into these boring businesses. I'll see you in the next one. Let's get it.